Something like a backflip, I know, is a trick that a lot of people are kind of interested in learning, but most people have no idea where to even start. They're just like, oh, that's something I want to do, but they have no idea where to even start doing it. Do I get a mattress? Do I do whatever? How do I do this? And if that's you, then you're going to watch to the end of this video. I'm going to teach you exactly how you can do that. The very first step, and probably the most important step, is you're going to want to make sure you're actually physically like fit. Just looking at acrobatic stunts, you can probably assume that they're very physically taxing on the body. You know, you're jumping as high as you can, rolling yourself around basically, tucking, whatever. So if you already play a sport or something, you'll probably be fine. If not, you're just going to want to practice your tuck jump. So a tuck jump is basically you throw your arms up, you tuck your knees to your chest, and then jump back down. If you look at a backflip is literally the exact same thing as a tuck jump, but a tuck jump just doesn't have the flip. Step 2, you're going to want to try to find a gym in your area where you can practice. So this can be a gymnastics gym or a parkour gym. I know it can be kind of like a daunting task to find a gym. It might be scary. For the same reason some people are scared to get into the regular gym. You know, it's a bunch of people who are definitely more experienced than you. You're scared maybe they'll judge you, whatever. But I promise you, parkour is a very niche sport. Gymnastics to an extent as well, but mostly parkour. So people who are better than you are probably not going to judge you, and if anything, they're just going to help you. And if you're new and you have no idea how to get into doing flips at a gym, I can just walk you through kind of how to get into doing it. So first, obviously, you're just going to search, you know, parkour gyms in my area, gymnastics gyms in my area. If you have a choice between the two, you're lucky enough to have both of them in your area, then I'd definitely go with the parkour gym. And once you do find one, you're going to go to their website and just check their schedule out. You're going to look for an open gym, open practice, or open workout. Any of these words, like different gyms have different names for it. They're all the same thing. But if the word open is in this block on the schedule, then you're probably good. Open practice basically means that you can just go to the gym and work on pretty much anything you want alone. So like it's not like a proper class. It's just kind of work on whatever. They usually last between like 1 and 4 hours. I definitely recommend going to one that's at least 2 hours. Because 1 hour tends to fly by really fast, especially like if you're taking turns with someone else. And then a lot of the time you spend at the gym is literally just sitting there catching your breath. Because as I said, it's pretty physically taxing to be working on flips, especially if you've never done them before. So yeah, just go for a longer one. Go for as long as you can. In my experience, open workouts tend to be the very last thing on a gym schedule because it's the time when the people working there are done teaching their classes. They'll just throw that on at the very end of the day. If you don't have access to a gym that's near you, and I mean if there's literally no gyms near you, you can't get to one, there are ways to work around it. But first, I'm going to hype up gyms a little more because they are just so useful. So if you do have access to one in any way, I highly recommend you take advantage of it. Even if it's like an hour drive away, like I've got gyms I know about that I go to sometimes that are literally an hour and a half away. So there's the obvious fact that a gym's going to give you softer surfaces to land on. You know, there's rod floor, spring floor, you know, trampolines, foam pits, all this stuff, and in a temperature controlled environment. So it's a very good place to learn. And that's the most obvious thing. It makes flips safer. For an example, like a while ago, I was at a gymnastics gym and I did a triple backflip from like 10 feet up into a foam pit, and I landed flat on my fucking neck, dude, like right on my neck. And I just, within a couple minutes, I was just back to training. Like if I did that, you know, outside, I'd be dead. Of course, I'm not saying you should train recklessly just because you're at the gym. Don't be stupid like me. I'm just trying to explain to you, like a gym is just so much better. And then also, if you're at a gym, you have access to all of the coaches that are there. There's usually a couple, and they can teach you flips. They can spot you. Spotting you is basically where they hold on to you while you do a flip and guide you through it. It's just way safer. And then in addition to this, there's going to be a lot of other people there training just like you who are probably more experienced than you who will also offer to help. I find that people in parkour and gymnastics are very nice and will generally offer you a hand if you ask for it, or even if you don't. Open workouts usually cost like 15 or so bucks, 20 bucks, and it's very much worth it. Now, if you don't have access to a gym, this is for you people out there who live in actually the middle of nowhere, or for whatever reason you just can't go to a gym. Your first best bet is a trampoline park. These are a lot more widespread than gyms, so there's a pretty good chance you'll live near one. Trampoline parks as close as you can get without going to an actual gym. Here you'll find foam pits where you can practice, and you don't even just need to practice on the trampolines. So at a trampoline park where the foam pit is, usually the trampoline and the foam pit will be separated by a small little mat because, you know, the springs have to go somewhere. So you can take advantage of this. You can just stand on that mat and just practice standing backflips into the thing, or even like run onto the mat and practice running flips, like side flips, whatever. So yeah, there's definitely ways to work around the fact that there's, you know, trampolines and trampoline parks. Now, trampoline parks aren't as affordable as regular gyms. A lot of the time it'll cost like 30 bucks just to go there for 2 hours. So it's not going to be your primary place you train, more than likely, but they can be extremely useful for getting used to the motion of doing flips, because that's really a lot of it. 90% of flips is just mental. Getting used to the motion of going backwards, going forwards, whatever. In a trampoline park into a pit will make it exponentially easier to start doing it at home. Anyway, after you've broken the fear of doing the flip at the trampoline park, maybe you've learned it a decent amount, it's time to take it outside. If you have a trampoline in your backyard, this is awesome. You're gonna want to take like some pillows, blankets, whatever, throw them on the trampoline. Make sure to wash them before you bring them back inside. Very important tip there. And if you can't actually get a trampoline, which I totally understand because I didn't have one for the longest time, your next best bet is to use a mattress. I was super lucky because I had like a springy mattress that no one used. I just took it outside and I used that shit as a trampoline. But a regular mattress is fine too, like say you're inside. Just make sure there's nothing around the mattress and make sure there's like ceiling's high enough. Make sure there's no ceiling fan, no ceiling light. You know, don't risk doing it on a mattress inside. Don't risk breaking something, including yourself, just to learn a flip. I swear to you, it's not worth it. So outside of this, if you live in like a good part of the world, then sand piles, like especially on a warm day, you just gather up a ton of sand. That can be a pretty decent cushion. I wouldn't recommend it as your first time doing a flip. Maybe just for front flips you can do that. But a sand pile is definitely good once you're already familiar with the motion and you're just cleaning up landing the flip. If you live in a shitty part of the world like me, snow piles, only if it's soft snow, obviously. If it's frozen over snow, then it's basically worse than concrete. But if it's soft snow, like packed, like powdered snow or whatever, then that can be a really good cushion as well. I know people will do flips off of roofs and shit. I'm pretty sure I've seen a Russian do a triple layout into a snow pile and land on his head. But yeah, now that you're equipped with everything you need to start learning flips, it's time to actually get into your first flips. So you can go watch this video right here where I give you 5 options as to what you can learn.